Hey, welcome back to Foodology 101. I'm Chef Gail, and it's early Sunday morning, and yeah, it's like 6 something, but I'm a firm believer of getting up the same time every day, whether I'm going to work or not, because they say that there are some health benefits to that, and since I'm a person that struggles with my sleep, I do that. But what I want to talk to you about this morning, yesterday afternoon, I was gifted with a box of collard greens. This is one bunch, and there are 4 of those in there, and yeah, that's a lot. It's a lot of work to do, but the advantage of doing this is that I'll have some in the freezer as I go through my challenge, and I won't have to, this is one thing I won't have to worry about cooking. Plus, it's my husband's favorite vegetable, as well as my daughter, my kids. Well, Amber eats lots of vegetables, but anyway. So what I wanted to show you was how to cut these. And the first thing I do is cut the bottoms off. Now, if you don't have stock, this is a good thing to use to make stock. You can rinse these off and add it to a pot with some peppers and onions and celery or whatever you want to put in there, carrots, whatever scraps you have. I had some scraps left over, so last night I started a stock. And so this right here has, I put a few collard greens as I'm cutting in there. It also has cabbage and some kale that I had left over. It has a couple of jalapeno peppers in there, serrano peppers, squash, zucchini, onions, all the scraps from my vegetables from the week that I cut. And I put it on a low simmer and let it cook for about 4 to 6 hours. That can also be done in your crock pot, but if you're cooking your greens and you're going to cook them today, go ahead and take the stems. You can cut those up and put them in a pot with water and your no salt seasoning and some hot peppers. You can even use we have pepper flakes to flavor them, and go ahead and let that cook while you're prepping your greens out. The prepping of the greens is a tedious process, and so part of what I wanted to do is, you cut the way that we cut them in my family. We cut the stems out. We can eat some stems, but not a lot. It can be a little stemmy, and there are a couple of different ways to do that. So you can lay it down and cut the vein out, or that center stem out, or you can, if your knife cutting skills are good, you can turn it sideways like that and cut it. And then I lay them all down together on my cutting board, and I roll it up like this, and then I take my knife and I just cut it. Excuse me. I use about a ½ inch cut, but you can use an inch. It just depends on the person. I like my greens cut more like a shred cut. And then after that, I have to wash them. So depending on how gritty they are, you can tell by your hands while you're cutting them. If you get a little sandy feel on them, that means they're pretty gritty. And what you want to do is when you wash them, you want to wash them until there's no grit left. There's 2 ways to determine whether there's grit left. So in the bottom of the sink, when you're washing them, after you take them out before you drain the water out. And the reason for that is you'll be able to see if there's some sand or dirt down there. That means you need to wash them again. And I usually wash my greens at least 2 times for collards. Very rarely do I have to wash them 3 times because they're flat leafing, so they don't hold. They've been rinsed, so they don't hold a whole lot of dirt on them. But sometimes with kale and turnips, especially turnips and mustard, you will get a whole lot of grit down in those greens, and it takes a long time to sort of wash them. So those I wash 3 times. You can wash your greens using some vinegar, and that also helps, or just plain water. If you use potassium, like type sodium, you can put that in there, or accent, which is like a flavor enhancer. What those do is they create a way to push the sand or the dirt down to the bottom of the, creates weight in the water and pushes the dirt down to the bottom of the sink, so you're able to see if you have a whole lot of dirt there. And that does make it easier to determine whether or not the greens are clean. Kale is notorious for leaving that grit or having that gritty, or somebody say, ooh, those are gritty greens. That's what, even sometimes in salad, you will taste that grit, that sand that did not get washed off. So it's a process. As you can see, this is going to take a while. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off for now, but I will get back to you later and let you know how it works. Have a great day.